What's going on, guys? Jake here with Hard to Kill Fitness, and today we're bringing you a kind of special video. This past weekend I was in Concord, North Carolina, training with Icy Mike from Hard to Hurt and Sensei Seth. While we were there, we shot a kind of impromptu video. Icy Mike was actually former law enforcement, and he kind of has a unique perspective on the whole training combat sports thing. So we decided to talk to him a little bit about that, and that's what you're about to see. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, what's up? I'm Jake here with Hard to Kill, and I have Icy Mike with me. Sensei Seth is in the back, and we just got done with the Dirty Boxing seminar. It was pretty great. Icy Mike taught it, but today we're going to talk about combat sports and kind of our spiel here with Hard to Kill. Why you should train combat sports for work if you're military and law enforcement. All right, so Icy Mike.
So I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking like, no, we train for the streets, we train for reality, we're too deadly to spar, combat sports is BS, you wear these stupid gloves, yada, yada, yada. Let me explain something to you, all right? There's a lot of lessons to be had from combat sports. It's not just about winning championships. If me and Jake were to box, this is a ridiculous proposition. It's like, oh, you should never try to box him. Why would you box him? I should like dive on his legs or bite him or groin strike him or kick it, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Here's the thing that I can get from combat sports that you can't get from reality-based self-defense. If you say that you're too deadly to spar.
Right.
Now, I'm not crapping on everybody that does that stuff. Some people get it. But if you're lost, is why would I do a sport if I only care about self-defense? I'll give you a lot of good reasons. One, it's the only way to safely get lots of reps. Right? Me and Jay can box, right? We can do a round of boxing, and he's trying to keep me away with his jab, and I'm trying to make entry. And I'll only get reps doing this in a sportive context with gloves. Safely, that's the only way I can do it. That's the only way I can do it. If we were to fight for real, he would beat me 9 out of 10 times. The problem is we'd only get the one.
Right.
Then we'd be done. The leg kick is a big one because I get why. The leg kick is a very... Now, I always have to qualify this because there's only... Yeah. Yes, you can disable someone with a leg kick. Boom. You can. You can disable someone with a leg kick. But it does have a lot of sportive application. The idea being that I would be trying to wear down his leg over time so that I can then do other stuff. It's all very sportive. I get it. We're scoring points. I have time to figure out his timing. In a real life street fight, self-defense, combative encounter, I don't have time to do that. I get it. But I am getting practice, staying far enough away from a guy who can hurt me, moving my legs and my body, timing out what he's doing, getting him as he's stepping on it, making him bite on it so I can do something else. That's not the techniques I would use in self-defense. These are the principles I would use in self-defense. Right? You know what I mean? I would use that. Maybe it's.
Right.
You know what I
Getting
mean?
Back to the tools,
right.
Like doing what you need to do.
I needed to physically be able to do that.
Right.
I'm going to tell you a secret. Maybe nobody knows. If you don't practice something, you will not be good at it. So if there's a thing that you think you're good at that you can't practice, you're not. You're not good at it.
You can get better at getting hit also. The reps. We're talking about reps here too.
Yeah. I can only take so many bare knuckle punches from Jake, but I can take a lot more of these. Right. And when he hits me, I have learned, when you first go to sparring and sport practice, I go forward, he jabs me, and I go like, oh my God, that's the worst. Then I build up to where he's jabbing me, and I go, I don't do anything about it, but I don't freak out. That's, you've been doing it about 6 months, you're leaving every practice with a headache. That's why people don't want to do it, because it's hard and it sucks.
Sucks. Yep.
Yeah. Then, fast forward about a year, and I have enough composure, I can stare straight into his jab, and when he jabs, I counter. You know, because I have built the composure to do that. Or, even when clipped, I still can answer back. Under pressure, I can still do things that I want to do. When punched, kicked, strangled, slammed, hurt, I can still execute on my plan, which when I'm practicing sport is sport. But if I'm training for real, I have other prescribed responses. I'll throw you a bone. It is true that if I always practice this, right? You know what I mean? Right? If I always practice this, right? Then I might default to that under pressure. That's real. I'll give you that. But if you don't practice anything, in other words, if you practice nothing, you will default to nothing.
I'm gonna squeeze in here.
So I did a whole perfect video here. It was literally perfect. All these guys are like, oh, that's how it does. That's how it happens, man. And then he comes in. Go ahead, whatever. Actually,
You're
go
gonna
ahead.
you're gonna do what you do the most.
Yeah.
That's it. Like
That's it?
If you're fighting, like if you are here, stand still, boom, boom, and you drill it like a mannequin, you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
If you if you go super hard sport and you're like, oh, the sport that I picked to get better at fighting is going to be point karate. Like you're going to be like out here, and it's not gonna be the same because he's not doing that.
This is a prime example because Seth's specialty is like sport-based karate style movement.
Yeah, being faster and better than.
Yeah, okay. All right, so he might default to some kicks that you would say, oh, that's only sportive. You might do that.
Yeah.
But guess what? Seth has had way more practice throwing those kicks than some moron in the streets or on a battlefield has spent addressing them.
Yeah.
Don't kick in a street fight.
Yeah.
If you suck at kicking, don't kick in a street fight.
Yeah.
Right. Side kicks don't work, but they're gonna work a lot better for Seth than the guy who's never trained in his life and says, I'm just gonna kick that Muay Thai guy in the balls.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Stupid
it's not gonna work.
And Seth has had practice because he is a karate practitioner. He's had practice getting punched in the face a lot, right? So he's used to that.
Well, that was also something that I had to seek out. I went to Mike and I realized that I wasn't getting enough, so I went other places and got punched in the face more.
I'm not gonna lie, you had me in the first half. I was like, is he paying me a compliment in this video?
No.
No. But you did help me realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point, and therein lies the problem. Here we have a guy from a total sport world who said, I'm not getting everything I need from the sport world. I need to seek out other things.
Yeah.
And you have the guys in the tactical community or the combative community. The problem is, here's why you don't want to go seek out other stuff.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it sucks. Because wrestling practice is hard, MMA practice is hard, boxing practice, it just looks like fighting to me. You know, it's tough. Boxing sparring is tough. It's all hard.
Yeah.
But if you don't go do it, then you won't know how.
You won't get better at it. Yeah.
That's a promise.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody's ever showed up for their first fight and been awesome.
Yeah. 300 hours watching film on YouTube. It's not gonna cut it. Gotta get in the gym. Gotta get in somebody's gym.
Yeah.
Or the dojo.
And the dojo.
And the
maybe
dojo.
more than one place.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Having more than just there's no like consequence to practicing stuff that is not like it seems dire.
Yeah.
But because you're practicing it, it can't be dire.
Yeah.
So if there's no consequence, then you don't get better. Also, the thing with sport is that you have somebody tell you for sure you lost.
Yeah.
Like, if we go back and forth, you touch me, boom, I touch you in something that is like a drill.
I'll come by later and be like, yo, your defense was bad, you were lazy, you know, I can tell you.
Right.
And then if we compete, and I think you should compete.
Yeah.
I think you should compete in sports. Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should even compete in sports, even if you only do BJJ for self-defense.
Right. Yeah.
Go compete.
Yeah.
Because you won't be nervous.
Yeah, there is nobody who is the fastest sprinter in the world who doesn't run against other people and have that drive to be faster than somebody else.
Yeah. If you want to run away for self-defense, you better take your ass to the track.
I'm talking about, I was going with just like a analogy, not like all mixed together, you know?
I don't know.
Mike, you made a point to the executive protection guy about how if you want to go to jiu-jitsu and you want to stand in your stance or whatever you would do for defense, if you want to like, tee off and say, I'm
everybody's doing this in jiu-jitsu.
Also, I want that guy to do stand-up like traditional judo, but anyway.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell him that.
That's inside. But yeah, if you want to stand up, if you think I get approached at work, right, doing whatever I'm doing, if you want to get like, all right, I'm holding a gun here, you don't have to hold a gun in jiu-jitsu, but like, you're standing in your stance, right? You've got your hips in the same position, whatever. Stand however you want to stand, engage in the jiu-jitsu class. Like you said, be courteous to your coach, do what he says to do when you're drilling,
Right.
but when you're rolling, when you're practicing, practice the way that you want to apply the skills that you're learning.
If you carry a gun for a living, you can go to grappling classes, you can go do your Greco-Roman, or your clinch work, or your Muay Thai, or your jiu-jitsu, and just in your head that your gun is over here. So maybe during that practice you default to keeping that away, even at the expense of losing on points. So 100%, if you're very serious about self-defense, very serious about combatives, very serious about real-world violence, sport-based training will help you with all of that if you set aside some of your ego, acknowledge that context is important, and you know, just get better.
And that is all for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jabs with Jake. We've been Hard to Kill Fitness. We'll see you next time.